Yeah. Well, while we're all here and I'm getting everything prepped, uh, John wasn't here last time. So what did you do the last time we were all here together?
We found another American.
Oh, God damn it, not another one.
Evil.
Another one.
We fought some third faction. And okay, we got sent out to go retrieve a former
No, a current German general.
German general, and determine if the fall of the city was at his hands and if he should be honorably discharged.
No, court-martialed. Put on
Shot.
trial. Yeah. You determined, no, he made some tactical missteps, but the city would have fallen either way, and interestingly, importantly, this didn't come up as much as it was supposed to, but when his last perimeter was starting to crumble, he ordered his troops to scatter into the ruins of the city and just disappear into the countryside, trying to reform somewhere. So a good chunk of his men got out there alive, and there wasn't really much he could do. And he stayed in his command post until it was literally overrun. There were 2 people left alive, one of whom was a prisoner.
Who is now with us?
Yeah. The other was a German machine gunner that killed 3 platoons worth of men before he passed out from blood loss. You rescued that man.
Hope he comes.
Yeah. Well,
Like the DDR guy.
Well, you then went back, you testified to an informal hearing, and you were all sent out to do whatever. That was about a week ago. Not a lot has happened for most of you.
I
Now-
can see in the chat people were getting shot at, apparently.
Yes,
that's
they're
third faction
yes.
fighting Findex.
Yeah, when they were getting ready to extract, an LAV attacked them basically, with a bunch of infantry inside. Steppy actually killed the LAV with an 84.
Why does it not surprise me that Sam was the one to do that?
Well, he also backblasted someone, intentionally. They were a back guy, so he positioned himself between the tank and the guy, shot the tank, or the LAV, and it blew up. It wasn't a striker, but it was very similar configuration to the MGS striker. You know, the one with the giant 120mm cannon on it that's so heavy that if you fire it sideways, it flips the vehicle. Either way, it's been about a week. I'm forgetting your character's name.
Matt.
Orange.
Orange.
Your character's name, I've forgotten it. Evie. Oh, they're AFK right now. I
Oh.
see. In that case, Alyssa.
Yes.
You've more or less been given all of you have really been given a bit of a leave for a few days to just lounge around, recuperate. Because there wasn't really anything for you to do because you aren't really assigned to any units. Oh, there you are. So, Orange.
Yes.
In the past week, you've been still not monitored per se, but people have kept a bit of a watch on you. You know, you're a defector. People have been trying to assess your your loyalties and have been, looking through your background. You've been interviewed a few times. Nothing formal though.
Did I get the job?
I did. You didn't.
Oh.
I'm cheap.
Okay. Give me a sec. Mm-hmm. Give me a sec. Just trying to figure something out. Yeah. What has Alyssa been doing for the past week?
Causing problems.
Causing problems and like almost kind of comically trying to like distance herself from Evie, but it's probably not going that well.
Yeah, they're sharing a room. It's not going very well.
It's not going very well.
Also, Evie's would be the kind of person just be like, try and get in your good books.
Where are you going?
No, just out, away from you.
Out away from you.
Hey, that sounds fun. I'll tag along.
No, she's probably just been watching everything. Probably digging around for things that she can like use, and probably there was at least one instance where like she passed by someone that was like having trouble with something that they were like one of their machines or something, and she's like, oh, don't worry, I got this, slaps it, and it suddenly works. And she just walks away.
The mechanical demon of the underground.
I don't understand. That thing didn't have an engine in it. I took the engine block out. What the fuck?
You can thank me later. Winks and walks away.
Palpable fear in that man's eyes.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, she's probably just been curiously watching things, probably slapping a few unworking machines. Amazing, everyone.
Why aren't you working? Whack, whack, whack.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Working!
That's a maintenance man.
I do want to. I think that's actually literally what the.
Yes, that's an actual ability of yours.
Yeah.
Something breaks, you can slap it, and there's a chance of it just miraculously coming back online.
Okay, but the hilarious part about that though is that like it only works for a certain amount of time. So I imagine like she fixes something for someone and they're like, "Oh, thank you. I've been trying to get this to work for so long." And she's like, "No problem," and walks away, and then like 2 minutes later it stops working again.
Oh, yeah, John, you also missed the proper introduction of Alyssa's bear.
Is it
Ursa
named
Major.
Wojciech?
No, his name is Ursa Major. He's got a little Maxim.
Hmm. Are you proud of my pun?
I'm
He's
out of
wearing-
moonshine. I am not drunk enough for this.
He's wearing like an old World War I American sort of style of uniform too.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Matt's right hand embeds in his face.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Matt, you weren't actually along with everyone's little flight to Hanover.
I was at base bitching about everyone using the 6.7 cartridge.
You probably ended up speaking to a bunch of Germans, meaning you're preaching to the choir.
Das ist scheiße, yeah? Yeah.
But also they don't have enough other ammunition to go around. You take what you can get.
Yeah, fair enough. Just cradles the M1.
Yeah, I mean, as we mentioned, Alyssa also has a Garand, but hers is still chambered in 30-06.
And mine is the Navy variant, chambered in 308.
Yeah, post-war variant in that case.
Nope, not post-war. 1944, some were bought by the U.S. Navy, chambered in 308. Then again, these were also the cut-down variants.
Yeah, well, either way, you were sitting around at base trying to, you know, you were probably given some, like, you got bored, you asked for something to do, and they asked for help with something. Uh, you notice a pattern pretty quickly that a lot of people here aren't really assigned to units because the bulk of their old units got destroyed. So it's like, hey, what division are you part of? Oh, I'm part of like the 4th Infantry Corps. In the German Army. Oh, how many people are left there? 12.
Me.
Me, myself, and I.
Who's
like
your
to
commanding
say-
officer? Me, I guess. I'm a private.
So they're very much in the process of reorging, and they're reorging a large amount of people. It's trying to count their tomorrow.
It's also the fact that there are still combat-ready troops, and you don't want units that are completely depleted, like basically lounging around on the front lines, because they're not combat effective, and they are taking up space and potentially supplies for units that are, and that could actually assist in holding the line. So everything gets pulled back a little. You were involved in that as well, Ryan. Like, you had a lot of paperwork to do, which isn't your favorite thing, but it's not the worst thing for you.
On
You're
fronts.
used to that. Yeah, fair enough.
You just don't see Ryan for a week. Well, you've seen Ryan, but
You,
Hey, motherfucker.
he just kind of walks by you most of the time.
however, after about a week passes, you are actually called into a meeting room and told to bring everyone along.
Alright.
Ryan seems
Rather-
particularly grumpy and
Alyssa is 5 minutes late because she had to slap someone's machine on the way over.
No, I'm trying to deconstruct this. What are you doing?
Nah, just gets the last bolt undone. Yes. Back together. Fuck.
No, that's an open turbine. What are you doing?
Why did you
You've
decide to
killed us
slap?
all.
Why did you decide to slap the nuke? No.
Yes, we've disarmed the bomb. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, as soon as everyone is assembled, there are actually a lot of people in this room. You reckon somewhere around 10, 12. It's hard to count sometimes with how much people are like moving around and looking at like maps and documents that they're holding in their hands. Most of these actually look like German officers. You actually also see a Belgian officer in among the crowd. Next to him is an officer that is presumably functioning as a translator.
Matt's anger increases over seeing the Belgian.
The others don't speak Flemish.
Flemish.
But however, as soon as one of the generals enters, everything sort of quiets down, and everyone is, told to sit down. Most of you guys feel a little out of place. Like, you look at people's like patches. These are like colonels, lieutenant generals, and and you're all like enlisted men except for one of you.
I'm not supposed to be here.
Hold up.
Also do my sent you a message.
Oh. Oh. Yeah. Another officer. As usual. Always. Yeah. No, as everything sort of quiets down. Okay. Okay. Welcome. Thank you for coming. I know it's been a busy week and a busy morning for everybody. We've recently, as some of you might have noticed, received a large influx of people in small groups making their way towards our lines. These are mostly German units. However, there are also some Austrian, a few Danish, some Dutch, and an entire Belgian brigade that has managed to break through into our lines and is currently in the process of, well, trying to reorganize us. We now have a significant surplus of manpower and have amassed enough stockpile of produced equipment produced here in the facility to re-equip 4 divisions, which will be used to launch our first attempt at a reversal of our fortunes, which is the invasion, an offensive, an invasion, and hopefully the occupation of Alsace-Lorraine on the French border. The French have been consistently supporting and supplying third faction forces to our north and to our south with supplies, weapons, ammunition, food, trains, vehicles, all that sort of thing.
The French.
Eliminating these methods of supply is vital to our continued survival. We have to preempt them in any attack that they might make. Now, the reason I have called some junior officers, or why the field marshal has called a junior officer and some of his adjutants and tagalongs here is because Major Degrachev here is to reform various German Brigadier and other units into an ad hoc unit, a Kampfgruppe. Any questions so far from anyone?
I raise my hand.
Yes.
Does this mean I get to punch a French person?
Most likely. Usually you'd shoot them, but
We'll see about that. Anyway, that's it. Thank you.
You just see Ryan kind of sitting there, like, biting the tip of his thumb and just trying to contain this, like, smirk. Yes.
At the idea of punching French people? Or like...
He's been doing this since it was first mentioned that he would be reforming a unit.
Just raise his hand. What about supply?
Supply. Well, this is part of. These are like this is, not a junior officer, but he's obviously been promoted
A bit too quickly.
into a higher rank, mostly because the officer corps it has been very depleted. He looks like he knows what he's doing. He's just not a very good public speaker. That's part of your orders, actually. You are to assess the state of the units which we are assigning to you, assess what supplies they have within their own stores, what supplies will need to be replaced with local stockpiles, what supplies can be provided elsewhere, and potentially, if necessary, training with new weapon systems, vehicles, whatever it is that we're supplying them with.
Hmm.
And having stayed quiet until now, Maho, the field marshal, stands up. All right. Can we get a map up here? Someone brings a map up to the table. Jesus Christ, what's the date? March 1957. Jesus Christ, okay.
Oh, do we get to see the new map? Did you finish it?
It's not the new map. It is a regional map of what you'll
Oh
be
dear
facing.
God.
All right. A blow up, please. And yeah, it's blown up on the little white wall on the one side. Now, as you can see, our forces are pretty cramped. Our current position would be right here, south of Frankfurt. The newly formed divisions, the battle group, is to be formed at the slimmest point of our pocket. They are to form mobile assault groups, together with existing German remedial units.
Hey,
That
hold on. I'll be right back.
uh,
Yeah, fair enough.
Sorry.
Hey,
Welcome back.
welcome back.
GS is home. I don't.
Uh, mm, I won't.
Sorry
Okay.
about that. There's not much I can do.
It's fine. No, Theo was just putting some flavor text in, and I was shit posting. All is right in the world.
Duma's also AFK real quick because they're going to the bathroom.
Sorry about that.
It's fine.
No need to apologize. It's fine.
Yeah. So the router is right between OS's computers, right? And mouse was enough to startle me because like kick you, and I looked down there, and he started projectile liquid vomiting all over the router,
Oh,
Oh no.
like on the router itself. So I tried. I had to get down there to pull him like away from it and make sure he was okay. It's enough to agitate my chest, so I freaking clean the thing. So
Oh.
just kind of sit here.
I'm sorry, that sounds horrible.
I'm mostly worried about him.
Mm.
I message in chat. See it. That's
that was the wrong thing.
it's Duke's cat, so I'm actually gonna see if
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does this mean I've also got going for like dramatic effect?
Hmm?
You know, people like having to go one by one. Does that mean I've got to go do something? Not sure what yet, but you know.
Um. I don't know. I was gonna say make myself a drink, but I've got a 24 pack of Coke right here, so.
Hmm.
Hello. Any updates?
Yes. Mouse just projectile vomited all over the router. So,
I see.
yeah. So Dee Dee is getting GS. So, yeah.
When the cat, I guess. Yeah.
I love it when my cat projectile vomits all over the freaking router.
That's just like what I do every day.
I, I see. I'm afraid, but I see.
Theo was scared.
I mean,
We all do a little projectile vomiting once in a while.
No, no, do not make it. No. Cease.
Maybe the real projectile vomiting is the friendships we made along the way.
On this episode, Mouse turns into a high velocity cannon.
Mouse
but
became the ammunition.
A mouse firing the mouse.
Yeah.
Mouse became a
There you are.
Okay.
Hello.
ICBC, Intercontinental Ballistic Cat.
What's up, Diddy?
I was just gonna say, yes, is really hurt. So I'm just. Mouse is laying. So.
Fair enough. Everything all right other than that? He's old.
Yeah.
All right.
I
You
just
guys
don't
ready to
want
continue?
this position. Yeah.
Yeah, they just like they spent the past like 15 minutes like moving around like random like chips a few inches on the map. It's like, actually they have their command post more like here, Strasbourg, and it's like a bit of chaos until everything's assembled.
Looks like he's tuning out.
All right. Circling back, you have down here, we have, or rather, Air Recon has spotted a large, and I mean large, third faction installation in French ground. This is probably where the August raids were organized from, as well as providing much of the logistics to third faction forces operating in the north and to the south. The plan. There's also a decent chance that they are responsible for jamming our communications to the point of cutting us completely off to our forces in Eastern Europe. So we don't know what's been going on there for the past few weeks. Now, the plan, once everything is assembled, is simple. Our plan is a simple hammer and anvil strategy, meaning that Gradial and German forces will hook around and pin French, potentially British, and third faction forces to this position near Sarrebourg. At which point, 3 divisions of the Bundeswehr, 1 division of Dragedial Mobile Infantry, and the newly assembled Kampfgruppe Degachov will act as the hammer in this situation and slam into the pinned Franco-British forces, take out, preferably capture, this massive third faction HQ, and if with a bit of luck, disorganize the forces in the area enough for us to move further south and take the airfield at Colmar right here. Now, any questions so far from anyone?
Nod sagely.
No. Very well. There are some special objectives, which is part of the reason I have called all of you here. And that is the fact that a sizable number from a mostly American volunteer corps is one of the units that is to be merged into this ad hoc battle group. Most of them are trained infantrymen, but their equipment is diverse and has little rhyme or reason. One of the objectives that you will be assigned is to standardize their equipment to a degree where resupplying them is actually realistic. We cannot fill trucks with 6 or 7 different kinds of caliber and keep resupplying people that are shooting around with bolt action rifles because that's all they had at home.
Hmm.
Now, for resupply, you have access to the central resupply for some of our more higher quality things, and especially our vehicles. But in general, if you can resupply yourself at local German storehouses, it would be preferable, as it will be easier to have the German war machine resupply these units in that case. The job for the Americans is to reorganize these American groups. As for our, until recently, prisoner of war, Captain, I think, Scott. That's Orange. You.
I didn't realize it's muted. Hmm.
Well, we have a number of aircraft that have been refurbished. We would like significant embedded air support. We don't, however, have enough pilots. If you could convince some of the American airmen that we have captured and are currently holding in our holding facilities further down in the facility, it will be very much appreciated. You can offer them the usual benefits, actual pay, better food, well, no longer being locked up.
Hmm.
Do you think seeing me would do anything to convince them?
The opposite.
Potentially, if you're willing to put your name on that ticket. John, you're turning into a robot.
I mean, I'm here anyway.
Test, 1, 2, 3.
That's
No.
a wuss.
I might as well help out, I guess.
1, 2.
No, it's still bad. Now
I know,
you
we'll
are not intelligible at all.
I know, we'll
I
leave now.
haven't even spoke yet.
There you go.
I'm about to throw this headset through the fucking roof.
I feel like that would make it worse.
It could only make it better, my friend. It could only make it better.
Yeah, well, if you're willing, that can certainly be arranged. Any other forces that you can reorganize,
Hmm?
well, the better.
I'll give it my best shot.
All right, so that will be the assignment the two of you have. Oh yes, the field marshal wanted to say something to you, Major, pointing at Ryan.
He like perks up a little bit.
Well, you'll be commanding a sizable force of people in this attack, in this that necessitates that you take command of people that are comparatively high in rank. So I will do two things. For one, you're being officially promoted to Lieutenant Colonel. Congratulations on that. And for the duration of this operation, creatively nicknamed Operation Moltke, you will have the
Can't be right. She's an Ishizumi.
Moltke was a German general. But Uh, I'm also assigning you the temporary rank of acting brigadier general. That will allow you to take command of these disparate forces without any confusion within the chain of command.
Just kind of nods, like quietly and respectively, like bows his head a little bit.
All right. I also want you to go through the people that you currently have with you, and see who it would be, if they're willing, be worth raising to an officer ranks, raising from the ranks into the officer corps.
He like perks an eyebrow up and then looks at the others, kind of.
Nothing you have to decide now. Just something you should probably figure out when the attack commences. These are the units that you have been ordered to reorganize. The 62nd Infantry Division of the the 62nd and the 73rd Infantry Division of the German military, both currently numbering 7,000 in and about. The Belgian 1st Motor Rifle Brigade, which currently numbers about around 300 men. The 4th Panzer Division, the 1st, 73rd, and 112th Dragedial Special Purpose Infantry Divisions, and finally a special regiment of hold on. We'll discuss that one later. A list will, of course, be handed out to you. And, yeah. You're all dismissed for now. I would like for you to come meet General Major Lagen in the mustering grounds on level 15, I think.
Nods.
Which two was this?
That's at Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay.
He will probably take you all with him, but dismissed. That's military talk for get the fuck out.
She says that in character. Great.
No, she does. No, yeah, she does
Oh,
say that
great.
in character.
Amazing.
I can speak that language.
Ryan just raises an eyebrow. How many times have you broken into our facilities?
Talking to me?
Yes.
A few. Why?
4.
He just nods.
Yeah,
Dismissed,
4.
and then like starts wandering off into the hallways to go find the
4 that you know of.
to go find the 15th level you said.
Yeah, well, it's just the like ground floor, brother. Floor minus 15. This is what it is. Like on the elevator.
B15. Got it.
Yep. Who's gonna follow him?
Stop you.
I mean,
I don't think they can stop you at this point.
yeah.
Okay.
guess I'll follow. I mean, well, actually, don't me and Evie have something to do, or?
Well, yes, but since we're gonna do this in order anyway.
Yeah, okay. Might as well come along then.
Walk, 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 walk.
We walking downtown.
Waddle, waddle, waddle. Walking fast.
You guys.
That's the elevator music.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, you guys make it down to the mustering grounds, and it's this big, like really big hall, that has a bunch of vehicles stored in it. And Ryan, you see Erich struggling at like a terminal next to a German tank.
He will come over to Eric's side and kind of just lightly shoulder him and kind of look over at the terminal and what he's doing. Troubles?
Whoever designed this deserves to be court-martialed and shot.
Is this just Okay. Out of character question. Is this just regular is he just being a boomer struggling with technology?
No, you look at what he's doing, right? He's obviously filing out like transfers for like, individual units, and an almost unbelievable message like comes up like as he like hits enter, where it says, "Please wait 5 minutes to transfer another unit," and it's like,
I see you have 5 minutes to spare.
It does this every 10 transfers. The problem is I have to consolidate 600 units all across the whole front line.
That sucks.
Oh
You
yeah,
have 5 hours to
no
spare.
shit. Well, I might as well show you where these guys are even properly transferred already. So, Ryan, when's the last time you've commanded a regiment of mages? That must have been back home, huh?
That was my thought.
Well, from what I understand, Brigadier Intelligence doesn't tell you everything.
Heard that much?
One sec. And like he walks you around behind a whole bunch of like vehicles, and behind there you see something that confuses you.
It's never say.
Because you see people around 12 people standing at attention, holding archaic rifles as well as imperial uniforms.
There's a moment of like this just confusion that crosses his face before he laughs and like takes up. There's like a small gust as he takes up into the air, just slightly putting himself above everyone who's already standing at attention.
Most of the report is classified and I can't read it, but from what I understand, about 6 months ago, a good chunk of the old 203rd just randomly appeared somewhere in the middle of Lithuania. Initially, we were going to send them to you, but, well, the war started and everything kind of went ahay.
Sorry to interrupt here. You can keep going, but I really need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
Alyssa
go.
is off doing
Slapping
something.
some
She's
machines.
distracted. She's slapping something. Anyway, bring it back.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
slapping the
Go on.
console that Eric was like messing with.
I wonder if you slap someone's head, would their brain start working?
Is that a machine? No, that's not a machine.
Technically, humans are machines.
Yes, but not in the rules.
Damn.
If she slaps the thing with the timer, would the timer go away?
Or
Would it
would
start working
speak?
where it's like you could just do as many as you want without that timer?
Well, the problem is that it was designed to do that.
It just resets the timer.
Eric just makes a dejected face.
No, just sitting there having to defuse it, just sitting there playing like the fucking bongos.
Okay. Well, uh, hmm. Where was I? Right. You should probably say hello to your deputy.
He just says, like, he has this very happy, almost sadistic face as he looks over everyone, and he just, like, his voice echoing over everyone just kind of goes, "Welcome back, maggots. I thought, I won't let you go, that easily."
Well, they just stand at attention, and Eric continues. Well, they aren't quite sure what the hell's going on yet. They're not entirely certain where they are. I've tried to explain a little bit, but they fought their way all the way here, and, well, I thought it best to reassign them to you anyhow. Major Vice here is, well, in theory, he hasn't resigned, he hasn't joined up with anything, so in theory, you're looking at the entirety of the Imperial military in this place. So, smirk at that if you will. I will.
He's just kind of gonna go over to Ace and, like, kind of do, like, one of those meaty little handshakes where you, like, grab their arms.
Yeah. It's good to see you again. Like he sort of leans over to try and like look at your at your like stripes. Uh,
They aren't accurate, so don't worry if you're not if you're trying to catch up to me.
Very well. We're all a little confused, a little starved, but all in all, the 2/3 ready at your command as always.
Good. I'll try and save you from any live fire shells. Drills, rather.
Save.
From what we've seen out there, doesn't exactly look like a lot of drills will be necessary, sir.
I'm back.
Hello.
Hi.
See about that. Can I I have a stupid question.
Yes.
Out of character, I'm a stupid little idiot who can't say intimidating things for the life of me. But can he kind of just rise kind of above them, and would you let me roll intimidation to inspire them?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
17.
Well, they're not. Hold on. They're not really resisting. So hold
They're
on, let me
used to
check
this.
their charisma score is not that high. So yeah, no, they're let out a cheer. Eri stands next to you and he like hands you like a tablet. I will get these men re-equipped. These rifles are a little anemic when you're fighting with assault rifles and machine guns. Though, I suppose Vice's MG there is adequate, though we probably won't find the rounds for it, but just replace it with a modern German machine gun, it'll be fine.
We have plenty of weaponry here that's at least equivalent to the things we had. Be good.
For the record, for Sorry, you go on. You go on.
On the same caliber as because Droideo Union uses a Stanag, doesn't it? Standard mag.
No, they don't use. SANAG actually stands for Standardization Agreement.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, no, they don't. They have their own proprietary ship because they weren't part of any military bloc, and their calibers and stuff developed separately throughout the 1900s. For
No,
the
I meant,
record,
like, they have a standard like a standard clip
Typic-
that slots into
Yeah.
multiple of their own guns. Not like
yes, typically,
Said
yeah,
mag.
typically, yeah. Well, some of them are clip fed, the really old ones.
Yeah.
But typically, yes, but supply situation is a little short, and you're gonna have to supplement some things with German equipment. For the record, like all of their equipment looks a little off, Matt. But from what you can tell, these guys have some variant of Car 98s, and the man that appears to be their commanding officer is carrying what looks like an MG 0815.
I'm just going to cradle my Garen, make sure no one steals it.
our entire division is fucking using outdated goddamn equipment. I swear to God.
Hey, the M1 at the very least is semi-auto. Oh, fuck. We are fucked.
If it makes you feel any better, these are the only ones that are equipped in this degree. Well, maybe not the civilian volunteers, but that's a different
Yes, the
discussion.
Volksturm is coming again. Got it.
International volunteers.
Damn.
Ryan is going to kind of go over a list and kind of like mentally catalog in his brain the kind of area they're in, the stuff, what equipment would generally be available to them, and like end up handing Eric back the tablet. There's plenty of German equipment we have left, or extra, correct?
Well, that's what you're mostly being resupplied with. I would. The storage catalogs are a bit out of date, so I would fly out there to the German units that you're remerging with, and figure out what's actually in there. Which reminds me, the three Americans here.
Mm-hmm.
You should all head down to the prisoner block and begin with your little
Interrogation, attempted recruitment.
no recruitment efforts.
Ryan is going to voluntarily catalog.
Drill his troops.
Less drill his troops and more do math and paperwork.
That moment when charisma is your dump stat.
Is charisma? Am I the only one with fucking charisma?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Let me check what mine is again.
I have a 16.
Yeah, you're the only one with the charisma. What does Evie have?
I have an 18 in intelligence.
What's your charisma?
My charisma is 12.
God,
Oh my god,
Oh,
you
I
have the
got an 11.
highest. Great.
Wait, I have the highest at 12?
No.
well, of you three, yes, my charisma is 16, but the problem is the only charisma thing that I'm good at is intimidation.
Fear.
Steppy's charisma is -1. Nice.
The only charisma thing I'm good at is intimidation. I don't have persuasion.
You'll figure it out. I'm not gonna make you roll for a lot of things.
I have to fly all the planes myself.
multitasking. Anyway, yeah. So I assume you guys head down to the
Yep.
like prisoner block.
Prisoner. Mhm.
Like you head down there, and this is obviously like just refurbished dormitories. Because this place wasn't originally meant to house more than like a few prisoners, so like some living quarters have just been refurbished and repurposed as like POW camps, basically.
Yeah.
And well, people aren't locked up in their cells all the time, so once you get to like the edges of like that perimeter, there's an armed guard there that asks to see your IDs and your orders, which I assume you just hand to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which that point he just steps aside and lets you in. And beyond that point, there are prisoners, mostly. So it's pretty obvious that third faction prisoners are separated from NATO POWs for a variety of reasons, mostly hyper-violent tendencies. But yeah, these are, you see some French people, you see some Americans, mostly Americans actually,
Mm-hmm.
and an Anglo or two. You actually, hold on. Yeah, you actually also see an Italian. Italian Air Force to be exact.
So I'm gonna kind of go up to Evie and be like,
Mhm.
okay, so if you want to like break the ice with them, and if any of them like give you, I don't know, a fuss, something like that, then I'll just swoop in and be like, haha, surprise, the president's daughter is here, and that'll work, right?
I mean, it's worth a shot,
Right.
you know. It's worth a shot.
She like kind of like pats her enthusiastically on the back. All right, good luck, champ. I'll be watching.
Your old like crew is being
Mhm.
held in cell block 4. You're currently in cell block 5. So you're just gonna have to keep moving a little bit.
Mm.
There are a few like armed guards, but most of them seem to be just carrying like, less than lethal options like a baton, a taser. Most of them have handguns, but yeah, it doesn't look like most people here are really interested in staging any sort of like escapes or uprisings. A lot of them are just kind of sitting, like eating food that they've
Vibing.
been given. And the food doesn't look delicious. Um, it's some bread and like a cup of milk. It seems to be the ration currently.
No.
Which isn't great, but it'll keep you alive.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are seem to be eating that in a kind of like porridge. And eventually you make it to cell block 4, where you go to a room number that you've been given essentially. These rooms are guarded still, so as you move to go into one of the rooms, warning, ID, papers. Who are you? What are you doing here?
Hi, I'm Evie Scott. I've got orders to try and, to speak to the individuals in here to see whether we can get them as soldiers on our side.
Right. All right. So I'm just gonna go over this with you real brief because we haven't actually
Yeah.
discussed this properly. The people here that you personally recognize that are gonna be that you're gonna have like your talks with are for one hold on. Hold on, I actually have this written down. Nina Barker is one of them. She used to fly an interceptor, like an F-15.
Yeah.
She is listed as having been shot down by a SAM site and having landed basically on top of here. Been captured and so on and so forth. You remember that she's a very angry, like she was a very angry young woman, who pretty obviously like just joined the military because it was what her folks didn't want her to do. So she's very, contrarian. She always, like, she had a tendency of borderline insubordination.
Okay.
But also had a, like she viewed herself as, like, fiercely patriotic and didn't really like things like orders to withdraw or fly back because there's 12 MiGs coming at us and things like that. Then someone flying Cass was hold on. Alexander Archer, who, no, not Alexander. What the fuck am I talking about? Tim Archer. Sorry. Who was never that into being in the military. It always felt like a job to him, right? He you remember he had basically no prospects back home, and that he just kind of joined up because there wasn't much else to do. And finally, hold on. Gregory Shepard, who, yeah, he, you get the idea. He was an idealistic, not quite kid, right? He's like 24, but a young man. He's very idealistic, and he just always like wants to do, has to make a difference or whatever, and seemed very disillusioned with the actual like nature of just fly out, bomb some random thing in a bombed out ditch, and then fly back. Which is most of what you did before you all got shot down. Alright, who do you want to go for first?
Let's go for the idealist first. Feels like the easiest one that's going to be
That
able to
would
do.
be Gregory, whichever you prefer. Yeah. You you tell the guard to, bring him out. And you all are, so the three of you are told to go hold and wait in one of the interrogation rooms, which aren't really interrogation rooms. They're their dormitories where they got most of the furniture out.
Hmm.
Now what's left in there is just like a table with some chairs and a lamp.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume you all just wait in there until it's time.
Yep.
Wait.
Yeah, and an American airman, still in his like flight suit and everything, is being brought into the interrogation room. And the door is then closed. He seems, nervous, a little scared. And he
Is there
looks,
is there anywhere that I can like? Do I have
hide.
to be? Yeah, like hide. So you
There's
know
a-
you don't want.
There's a curtain.
I am hiding behind the curtain. But it's very obvious someone is standing there, but you can't see who I actually am, so it's like it's fine.
I like the idea that like the butt of your rifle is still showing out somewhere, so it's like extremely threatening that there's just an armed person behind the curtain.
Love me some intimidation tactics.
Accidental.
Yeah.
The man seems really confused to see you, Evie. I
I just
forgot
give-
your rank. I forgot your rank, by the way. Was it captain?
I don't remember. I don't think we ever sorted that out.
I think we did.
Hmm. I don't remember. We'll go with whatever.
No, you were a captain. I remember. You were a captain.
Awesome. Thank you. So I just give him a soft wave and just say, "Hey, nice to see you again. Take a seat."
What the hell are you doing here?
I'll explain. I'll explain. Don't worry.
What? Like he does move up and sit down. It's like, we saw you get shot down by like a stinger or something.
Hmm.
Like
I cough. Like I sneeze. It's really dusty in here.
like it just the curtains like you just hear through the like very thick curtains like someone needs to dust these. No, he just looks at the curtain in like intimidation and a bit of confusion.
Sorry.
For what? Wait. No, I still don't understand. What are you doing here?
Well, long story. So as you saw, I got shot down,
Yeah.
and as it turns out, there are some some of the allies of the US, or the people that the US are working with, are committing war crimes beyond anyone's comprehension. So I've decided to try and join to do the right thing, and
Well, you deserted?
I'd say less deserted and more saw that we were fighting for the wrong thing.
Scott,
we were
Captain, that's desertion by definition.
yes, maybe so. But if I'm gonna keep it real. If you had seen what was out there, literally people that the US were allying themselves with, killing towns and towns of civilians and burning their bodies up, children, men, women, everyone, I think you'd probably want to try and do something about it too.
But hold on, we were told that the Germans just burned everything in their retreat.
Yeah, no, that was not the case. It wasn't the Germans that were doing it.
Do you have something to back that up? That's a pretty bold claim.
Is there any footage or anything I can show?
Yeah, you probably. If there goes
John, okay?
John. He said he'd be right back a few minutes ago, like DM'd me.
Oh, okay.
Something. Now we'll see. Might have just disconnected him or power went out. Something. We'll see. For now, we're just with you two anyway.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have like a. If you asked, which I'm just gonna assume you did, there are lots of like pictures and like short videos that very yeah, his net died.
Fairs.
Yeah, like videos of just the carnage, pictures of mass graves, like bombed out houses that were definitely not being used as a combat post. Like just entire towns being reduced to ground level. Because if they're massive, just yeah.
Yeah. I'll start off by just telling him that, like, let me know if you need me to stop these. It definitely took me a few days reviewing these to get through this.
Hold on. Let me roll a save here. Oof. It doesn't take long. Like, as soon as you get to like the images, like beyond just structural destruction, once you get to like graves and like well, we'll wait for a moment. Sigh.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I didn't expect because someone just brought a half a glass of Bailey's.
What?
Just straight.
Okay. Yeah, no. Like once you get to graves and just people being rescued out of the rubble and the state that those people are in, it like the man just sort of gives you a hand sign. I wasn't out there for long before some German squads found me and took me prisoner. I thought that, while we were flying over these combat zones that, that's expected for entrenched positions, but it's a village. Why are you showing me this?
You said you wanted proof. This is what... Do we, out of character, do they know the name of the third faction? As the thing, the people
yes, they do. They don't know anything other than that the US is in a technology exchange with them.
This is what the third faction have been doing. This is what they're actions have been in Europe. This is what we unknowingly have been helping with, and this is now what I'm trying to stop.
So what do you want from me?
Well, I was hoping that you would join me and we take the fight back to them. If you join, I rail off the list of different benefits.
You don't need to convince me with any benefits. Just give me a plane. I'll do anything.
Sounds like a plan. Let's bring the fight back to them, eh?
Okay.
Can I come out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, you can go out.
No. Like she says that in character. Like, like you hear like a distant whisper. Like, can I come out now?
Go ahead. No one told you to be in there anyway.
I like kind of like push aside the curtain and step out. You know, there's the wielder of the fucking gun that was poking out the entire time, and just kind of wave and was like, "Hey, I was here for backup moral support."
He looks really confused now. What?
Yeah, it's a long story,
What?
but everything she said is right.
I mean, I wasn't doubting that, but what? Uh, you are and here with not in Washington.
No, I haven't been in Washington, D.C. for ages now.
Eh?
Okay, I think our job is done here.
Yeah, he stands up. Sort of stumbles out. Who are you gonna get next?
Wait, do I have to go back to hiding?
If you want to, no one's forcing you.
I think Alyssa's committed to this bit, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know what? Fair enough. Let's get the guy who thinks it's just a job. I don't know what I'm going to say to him,
sure.
but you know.
Yeah, Tim. Yeah, he's a.
I am
tall,
once again hiding behind the curtain.
They're really dusty curtains. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you bring forth a really like a tall, lanky man with a mustache. Who like raises an eyebrow when he sees you, Evie. And yeah, every time when someone else comes in.
Someone comes in person. Man, absolute heroes right now.
Pretty much.
Good timing, eh?
As always. He raises an eyebrow. App?
Hey mate, how you doing? Take a seat.
Yeah. What are you doing here exactly?
It's a long story involving a crash plane and
I saw that.
And well, do you want the long of the story or the short story?
Well, I assume you're probably going to talk about all the rubble out there.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. I can guess why you're here. And let me tell you, if I spend one more night eating porridge, I think I will hang myself with my tie.
That's dark.
From behind the
Yeah, that sounds about
right. Did you
right.
say that in character?
Yes, I said that in character.
from behind the curtains.
From behind the curtain.
Why is there someone standing behind the curtain with a gun?
No idea. She just does that. I can say though, if you are joining me, it'll be great to have you back on my side. You always were a good pilot, but I can't promise that you won't meet your end during this.
Oh, well, sure, but it's not that different from. It doesn't matter what fighters I'm dodging, I guess. Though you guys don't exactly seem to be in a splendid position.
Hmm.
But no, I don't need any convincing, really.
Awesome.
Been
And if you
looking for an opportunity to talk to an officer ever since they put me in this hole.
it'll be great to have you back. Just remember though, if you do double cross us, then I will have to
Oh.
have to.
Oh, I know the court martial, Darrell. Don't worry. Seriously, who the fuck is that behind the curtain?
Feel free to
Not
come
like
out
you.
if you want to. Now there's
I once again emerge from the curtain. I'm like, "Hi, I'm here for backup."
Like his expression doesn't change, like looking at you, like, with his mouth slightly ajar as it was right before you came out, like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
sure, whatever.
Anyway, glad you're on our side now.
Yeah, sure. He stands up. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, okay.
As he like leaves, I look
Like
to
he-
Evie and go like, "This is going better than I expected it to."
Like
we've
he
got the
closed,
worst for last. Oh,
like he
sorry.
closes the door behind him. And it's like, yeah, okay.
I feel like I'm making their nights, you know.
Mm. You're like the celebrity guest star of the POW interview.
Yeah, I am.
All right, Nina is for last then.
I am once again hiding behind the curtain.
You hear, you're waiting a little longer than you expect, and then you like hear like a commotion outside. Uh, and like it's sounds pretty colorful. Wherever the fuck you're taking me, I'm not coming with you for even a second.
Oh boy.
You hear
Oh,
some
God.
punching, some like furniture scraping against the floor.
I just mumble like a fuck, not again, under my breath.
You hear one of the like, you hear one of the German officers like, scream something that, with your limited abilities in German, you can roughly translate to "Ow, my nuts." And when they finally do drag her into the like the room, she's like held by this oversized, like really bulky, like Dragadia lieutenant, who is like holding her like by her waist, like picking her up, like with both hands. And
How tall is she?
she's like average size, but this dude's like at least 7 feet tall. Like she's like 5'6", 5'7".
Nice.
And this guy's just like big, and she like keeps like trying to reach like for his like service pistol like on his belt, like.
Nina, I'd really appreciate it if you didn't shoot him.
Where the hell do they make these people? What the fuck are you made of? The man does not react. Where do I put this one? Like the man says, like looking at you.
Just sit down here.
Sure, the table will survive it. That's your responsibility, not mine. Like he like sits her down and like walks out of the room like backwards, like closes the door very gently. And Nina is sitting there with her hair a complete mess, her arms like crossed. There are some rips in her uniform. Probably some of them look fresher than others. Get the idea that she probably resisted arrest.
Hmm. I just look her up and down and say, how many times have I had to bail you out now?
The hell are you even doing here?
Well, when I get shot down and have to walk through a field of literal war crimes happening around me, I tend to end up in places like this.
You're a traitor.
Traitor's perhaps one word for it. But
No, you're committing treason. That's all there is to it. I don't care about your reasons. You swore an oath.
okay. I swore an oath, yes, but did that oath include wiping out complete villages, towns, cities of innocents, piling their bodies up, burning said bodies, committing unspeakable horrors to the whole of Europe? Did that come under that oath?
You swore you'd do anything to protect the nation if that's what's necessary, apparently.
Genocide is not protecting the nation.
I like
It is
this
wrong.
would be my cue to like try and step out from the curtain, but I do it with like a flurry, and I end up getting tangled in the curtain.
Actually, roll me a dexterity save.
Okay, hold on. Bring up roll 20.
I'm just gonna pinch in between my eyes and sigh.
Roll 20, please. I'm begging you. This is my moment to shine. Roll 20. Hello. There you go.
Roll 20, my beloved.
Dexterity save.
Yes.
Oh boy.
You do a pirouette, rip the curtains off of the bar, and like lay there, stand up, and you're essentially wearing the curtain like a toga.
I like recompose myself. Like I'm like basically. I kind of like pull the curtain closer to myself. Like, ah, yes, I intended to do that. She's right, you know. Something tells me genocide wasn't part of that oath you took.
What kind of Bolshevik trick is this?
You mean the curtain thing? I meant to do that. If that's
No, you're not real. I'm not stupid.
what. Are you gaslighting me right now?
Yes, I can confirm she's real. As unbelievable as it was. Yes, she is really here.
Well, what reason do I have to believe you?
Okay, what can I do to convince you that I am actually who I say I am?
What would it matter? Then you'd also be a traitor.
Well, yeah, that much is given,
Right.
I guess.
Right. I'm just going to get to the heart of the matter. I'm going to show you some footage of what this third faction is doing. The people that the US are, well, aligning themselves with and what they're doing in Europe. You'll then have two options, one of which is that you can consider what is actually happening, join us in trying to do the right thing, and trying to stop a complete ethnic cleansing of Europe. Or, if you want to be so stubborn as to just not see what I'm going to be showing you right in front of your eyes, you can rot away in that cell for all I care. You have been one of my best friends during our time, but this is important. This is bigger than you or me.
As Evie is doing this, Alyssa is standing there and she's just kind of looking at her like, "Ooh, that's hot, actually." It's like,
Roll me a d20.
A d20?
Yeah.
Okay. Any modifiers or anything, or just straight
Nope.
d20?
Just a straight d20. Hmm.
9.
Like, you show her a lot, and it looks like it affects her. But eventually you run out of footage. You had literally like 200 something pages of just stuff to show, and eventually it just runs dry, and she like still sits there with like her arms crossed, looking depressed. Maybe so, but I can't just fight against my own country.
Think of it this way. What they are doing in Europe, what Third Faction are doing in Europe, is a complete genocide and ethnic cleansing. If they have conquered Europe that way, then what is to stop them doing the same to the US? What is the same to them betraying the US and doing the same over there and wiping the US out? We cannot let them get any stronger.
Uh, at this point, there's a knock at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Dee Dee, are you still there, by the way?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Cause I'm gonna need you for this. The door opens. For one, Erich, and for the other, Ryan comes in. How are we doing, ladies?
Well, this one seems to think that an oath for her country is more important than a genocidal cleansing.
Well, maybe they're just stubborn. I'm right here.
Ryan just
Yeah, we know.
is thinking for a moment. What was your name? She just
Like she sort of raises her like, you know, that thing where you like look up just to look down at someone, despite the fact that they're sitting down and you're not, but whatever.
I'm tiny, don't worry.
Yeah, that's fair. You're still at eye level. Uh Walker. Nina Walker.
He is going to reach out, touch her clothing, and cast mending, on all
Okay.
of the broken bits, basically.
Yep.
And at the same time, I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts. Hold on. Okay.
Uh
I learn the surface thoughts of the creature. What is on its mind at most in the moment. As an action, I can shift. I can attempt to probe deeper into the same creature's mind. The target must make a Wisdom saving throw. If it fails, I gain insight into its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind.
okay.
If it succeeds, the spell ends.
Yeah, so surface thoughts, like a lot of what has been shown and said is sort of flowing through her mind, but she's just angry, very angry.
Does she feel? I guess that would be a thing. Like just betrayed that.
That's part of it. Hold on. It has to make a. What's the DC for the wisdom save?
Presumably spellcasting save DC. 14.
That makes it.
Ah,
You're not entirely sure about anything else other than just a lot going through their head. You get the sense that it's just not clicking properly. Eric actually like shifts, like pushes his glasses up his nose. Well, we are in the midst of a ruined city. You could just go up there and uh, show firsthand the effect on the civilian populace.
If you're comfortable with that, sure. Might help.
I can get you a guard.
that won't be necessary. And Ryan kind of like shifts his rifle on his shoulder, which he is still always carrying with him, for the record.
Well, that's overkill, obviously, but sure, whatever.
Can I just... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, can I just face Nina and say, last thing we can show you is we can take you up there and actually
I
show you
heard
what they do.
him.
Yes. What I was going to say is at that point we'll have to ask you what your final decision is. Of course, I can't change your mind if you're going to be...
Oh, just shut up.
They're gay, Your Honor.
Yeah. Are you gonna? So yeah, you all walk her basically to one of the big elevators. Your spell is still active, isn't it, Ron?
Yes. Or because it failed.
So, yeah, surface thoughts. This woman is thinking about escaping. And as you get, like, you make your way up there, and you come out in, like, a football field that has been refurbished, or rather, repurposed to be a, basically just a refugee camp, like a civilian aid station. And there are a lot of people here. Like, a lot of people. Cramped into, like, tents that are not adequate to house them, but it's obvious that that's all that's really around here. Like, they're being fed, like, a very, very thin stew of vegetables. Like, it's pretty bad. And a lot of these people have wounds. Like gunshot wounds and things like that.
Ryan is going to like lead the pack a little bit with one hand kind of on the rifle of his shoulder, not even really looking at her, but definitely tuned into her mental thoughts. And not even looking at her, wandering through the camp, kind of even trying to make their way outside. Just quietly. Tell me, what do you remember about World War II?
Well, I wasn't born. What kind of fucking question is that?
You had history classes, unless you chose not to pay attention at all.
Well, I know that the Krauts were the ones killing people there.
Yep. You remember... Well, you remember the Nazis. The main force behind everything. Things, the horror stories that's probably sanitized for your history classes, a younger, impressionable audience.
Yeah, sure, but we fought the Nazis.
You
And
did,
as she finishes that
didn't you?
sentence, like, no, she, adds, yeah, and we're fighting you, Bolshevik pigs, for a very good reason. And as she finishes that sentence, you all hear vehicle audio, a helicopter. And an air raid siren goes off. That's a
Ryan
a
just stops in his tracks and says, "If I remember correctly, these kinds of sirens were also used on many of or I am bad with words. Something connecting it to the British air raids. Fuck.
yeah. Well, this is a lot worse than the air raids, which were indiscriminate. This is very directed. It's just not directed at a military target because this gunship that like flies in low and fast just straight up opens fire on these tents. And before any of you can react, one of the like AA guns, it's not a ZU, but it's like an equivalent, a Belgian equivalent actually, just sort of swivels around, start shooting in the air, and very quickly, like this gunship just catches fire and crashes into a nearby building. You actually understand very well what just happened. Oftentimes, gunships like this are kind of just sent on suicide runs. When they've got nothing else, like when they have nothing else left in their arsenals. This is a pretty desperate tactic, but it kind of just shows that at this point they've resorted to just try and whittle down morale as much as possible. And like as soon as this happens, you actually feel her surface thoughts shift pretty dramatically because these people just direct fired on a refugee camp and like blew holes into these tents, and there are tons of people like rushing in to try and like save people out of the burning rubble. Well, I guess not rubble, just what's left of the tents.
Ryan is going to finally turn around to look at her with almost a sad look on his face as he motions to the burning building, letting everyone like rush around them. Tell me, do you feel patriotic yet? And I wish to make an intimidation.
I don't think that's necessary. I just made like a sanity check. She rolled a 3 on a.
She breaks down sobbing.
And this was a DC 20.
Can I?
Yeah, no, she literally breaks down to her knees and just starts like crying hysterically.
Could I give her comfort, but in a way that I know won't be immediately rebuffed, given the history?
You could just sit next to her. That's probably the best bet.
Yeah, I'll just do that then.
I don't understand. I just don't understand.
This is what we're trying to. This is what Third Faction is doing, and that oath I made. I feel that this is protecting.
I'll join
people.
you. I'll join you. Just I can't handle this. I can't look at this.
Let's get you back inside.
Okay. As you like get up, and like walk back inside, there's actually like a secondary explosion in the helicopter that crashed in the adjacent building because of all the munition going off. Like there's officers like hoarding people out of the stadium, like just so they don't get like blown up by like a stray rocket that goes off.
Evie. As they're kind of wandering away, Ryan is just kind of turned back around. It's off. Don't cradle her too much. This will have to become a sight she's used to seeing.
I'll do what I need to, but at the end of the day, I need to make sure that she's going to be okay as well.
I seem, you know when you can tell when someone is like deeply bothered by something, but they're being silent about it. That's me right now.
Anyone
Can
want to talk
I-
to Alyssa?
Yeah, can I? Well, no, I'm escorting the person out.
Well, you can do both. You're all walking.
Oh, can I just try and ask what's wrong, but like in a friendly, like not too pushy, but like in a friendly way, like
Yeah,
trying
go ahead.
to be a good friend. What role is that?
Well,
Alyssa, the
I
other
mean,
player character.
I
Oh,
don't
good
think
point.
you want to
Yeah.
make a PvP.
PvP. It's like, no, if it's not my place to ask, and it's okay if you don't want to say. But what do you want to talk about it? What's wrong?
Well, when you see forces like this that your father is very much allied with, committing all these atrocities, it bothers you just a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
I just don't understand how he can be so blind.
Erich, kind of responds in Evie's place. Probably because he's ignorant, or he doesn't have as much of a choice as you'd like to think.
I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know what I want to believe anymore.
Well, the only thing we need to believe in right now is that we're keeping ourselves and these people around us alive. And that we're going to punch some French people, I think is how you put it.
Yeah. Punching French people is a great way to lighten the mood.
um, I'll just say it just low enough so that only Alyssa can hear. I can say, I know there's not much I can do, but here if there is anything.
Yeah, thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
All right. Hold on. Yeah. You guys head back inside. Yeah, he turns to you, Alyssa.
Who turns to me?
Or, no, not
What?
Alyssa. Fucking, Evie. I'm dumb. Turns to you,
Oh.
Evie. Erich. The man
Yep.
that's with you. Like the German officer. Okay. Here's the plan as laid out. They're going to be spending the next week, 2-3 weeks, actually, in advanced sort of, well, training courses is the right place. Flight simulators, familiarizing themselves with their new aircraft. So they'll be down there in hangars, far away from the fighting. I wouldn't worry too much about, them seeing too much of the carnage at once. And once they're back up in the air, well, they'll be back up in the air. It's a lot easier to distance yourself from everything if you're literally far away from it.
Yeah. Thank you for giving them a chance.
You'll have to thank the field marshal, but these three will round out your This is important for you too, Ryan. You there, Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay. Those three will round out your air crew. There's already one cast plane still assigned to what's left of the Dragedial's 3rd Special Purpose Infantry Division. Last out of originally 16 aircraft, they've lost a lot of people. They're already back there, and If I were you, I'd move there and figure things out quickly. Figure out your logistics and stuff.
What time is it currently?
Currently, it's like noon.
And what time does it get dark here?
It's this. Hold on. Around 6, 7.
Okay. We'll leave at 1800. And yep.
Okay. Yeah, 6 p.m. You all meet up in a hangar. Are you taking your old people with you?
Yes.
Uh, have you updated them on anything, informed them of anything that's going on while you were?
No, smiley face.
I think he's thinking about it.
He
Or at least given them like just a general summary in written form so he doesn't have to talk so much.
okay. She got Vice and explained the gist of it to him as well as the her orders for their gathering and things like his combat plan for going into this new area. And then basically sent him to deal with it while he dealt with paperwork.
Yeah. So as they're all standing basically at attention, they're still wearing their old uniforms, but they now have plate carriers and assault rifles. With Weiss having just an MG3, which ergonomically is a weapon that's not that unfamiliar to him. It's just anyway.
They know how to learn under fire. I trained them.
Weiss approaches you with like a piece of paper. Orders from the General Major. I think you are already aware. We are to inspect your troops.
He just kind of waits them through. Not really working.
Nice. Yeah, you're all like huddled around like this transport VTOL. And yeah, I'm assuming you're all coming along
Yeah.
to
Even
go look at.
The people who are not currently here, don't worry about it.
Well, I feel like I'm just gonna make up shit for them to do. In the meantime, anyway, you guys are stepping inside, taking off, and flying off into the distance until you hit a fob a bit further west, where you land on like a large airfield that has holes in it that are being patched up currently. Their missiles landed in this in the tarmac pretty obviously. This survived several attacks. There's like tank wrecks that have just been like pushed off the airfield just so that planes can take off again. And as you get out, a Dragidial infantryman and a German infantryman, a private and a corporal, respectively, are all that are really there to greet you. Like they're saluting. Their uniforms don't fit. Their plate carriers are like ragged and like have holes in them because they've been shot at. They have what they don't have enough like magazines to like on their vests to really adequately resupply them under fire. Uh, and they just stand there and like salute. Uh,
Forward.
uh, sir, I am Corporal Georg Wilterleben, 2nd German Infantry Division, also deployed here, are 2nd Panzer and 1st Brigadier, no, 2nd Brigadier Special Purpose Infantry Detachment. He says, like pointing at the private next to him. You'll probably want to go see the captains. They're all in their HQ. I think they're eating dinner. I don't know. You'll have to look at them. They're still standing at attention and saluting.
He is very pointedly not going to say anything. And then
Vice is standing next to you for the record. Shall I order the men to check everything out around here? Keep security?
would be advisable. We're on the territory. You know what you need.
You're not in enemy territory. This is a friendly fob.
Rather. There are
Yes,
enemies
you're
anywhere.
you're basically on the front lines.
Yeah. Then he's going to go and head.
The officers' casino, which is just where the officers are. Basically, it's their lunchroom.
Yeah. He's. Sorry, I'm spacing out.
That's okay. We don't have a lot left to go. Your head is big.
Please rest after this.
Do you want me to come with you, sir?
Make sure those idiots don't kill themselves and then take care of troops that are in the ground.
Very well. You walk into the officers' casino, like all of you, and you see, a lot of people, comparatively, like 5 people. Most of them are just like lieutenants that are like sitting in the corner eating soup. You see one person in a Brigadier Air Force uniform, with like a flight suit tied around their like waist, and they're still like they've still got their like helmet tied around their like neck. Uh, the senior officers, all of whom are captains, meaning they are all outranked by you, and in fact, Evie, you outrank all but one of them.
Ooh. So wait, have I kept my old rank then?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Welcome to our humble little abode. It's not very well furbished. The highest ranking one, the major, sort of points at the hole in the wall where it's pretty clear a tank shell went straight through the building. We haven't really had time to clean, but we are more or less all in acting order, though our 12 units, as we are, will have to be reorganized pretty much from the ground up.
Hmm.
Logistics situation is fairly dire. We have enough ammo and supplies to last us for about 2 hours of offensive operations.
2 hours?
Mark any other fobs of former Germany roll on the map.
already done. Like he hands you like a whole stack of like maps and files. We've been anticipating anyone to come around and take control of us. We've just kind of been sitting here in weird ad hoc groups trying to take control of whatever assets we can, including this last cast pilot in this section of the front. Says, pointing that at like the woman that's sitting at the table, like with or rather on the couch with her like feet up. Yeah, the one with the pilot suit, munching on some cake.
Crunch, crunch,
Very
crunch.
dry, stale-looking cake. Yeah, there's a lot to go around and show around, so we'll better get started.
Right.
And I think that's where we're gonna end it for today, because we're gonna be, resuming straight tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when you're actually invading France.
Yay.
Wow, French people.
What a concept. Ew.
What even is a
Ugh.
French?
I love Alyssa so much. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you do.
Honestly, yeah, same.
I'm gonna hide behind this curtain, cough, sneeze profusely. This is really dusty. Who put me in this spot?
Hides behind the curtain, comes out dressed like a bloody Roman.
Yeah. Pirouettes. I meant to do that. Yeah.
It's totally according to plan.
Yeah.
All according to Kaikaku.
All
Right, no,
according to
Kaikaku means
plan.
plan.
Looks up God's plan, of course,
Yeah.
because I sure as fuck don't have one.
Yeah. Accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording.
Okay.